All right, let's get to some of the reaction right now. Obviously, as we stand right now, there may or may not be a deal. Remember, there's a game on Thursday night. And then, obviously, you got the weekend games. Whether they can turn them around in time, who the heck knows? I want to, before I go to the phone calls, I want to read a couple comments that have been sent in. And this one comes via Facebook. And we start off with Heath Cleveland, who writes, with the Monday night situation, it's almost time to wipe the stat sheet clean and start a 13-game season with pro refs for pro athletes. It is that bad. Let's go to Mike Giordano, who writes, the point is the people are not getting what they paid for. The NFL can stand on principle, but if they cannot produce a good enough product for the money, they have an obligation to the ticket holders to cave. And I think that's an important point. The amount of money that people are laying out here and the inferior product that they're getting, I think is viable. I'm going to bring in the callers and you guys jump in. Let's start off with Alan, who's calling us from Philly. Alan, you're on the line.
Okay, hey, Richard, how you doing?
I'm good, Alan.
That's good. I just want to say that I believe that the referees should get basically most of what they're asking for. And the reason why is because you look at the owners, they're making $9 billion a year. Now, I know they got some concussion lawsuits coming up, but you figure things aren't coming up to 2 to 5 years down the road. With the amount of money they make every year, the refs should get their pension, little bit of money they're asking for pension, and they should really get a raise during the course of the year.
Well, you know what, Alan? I have one thing, and Tom, I never understood why these guys aren't full-time employees. You know, these guys, so you know, usually refs, and I'm going to field here, they're some of the very successful people in the private industry. Some are lawyers, they do a lot of things. One guy is even a judge. The idea that the league, and look what we've learned here about the importance of referees. I honestly didn't think, I knew it was a tough job, but I didn't think there'd be this much of a disparity between the regular guys and the scabs. Put a little commitment here. If you want to give them a full-time pension benefit, make them work full-time for you.
Well, but that's what the last caller failed to recognize, besides the fact that the last caller doesn't mention, you know, we all sit here. It's really funny, and Dominic has mentioned a couple of times, the owners make $9 billion a year. There's no factoring in. I can guarantee you this much, that the Mara family, which has funded their football team until the time the Tisches came in and took half ownership, that was their job, in good years and in bad years. Now, again, has the sport grown? They've built a new stadium.
No, no one begrudges them and making money, but it's a rounding number for them.
No, but what I'm saying is no, it's not a rounding number, because you have to look at the entirety of the whole. You have to look at now, okay, if I allow part-time referees to be part of the pension cost and get a pension, not only are they making $150,000 a year, $100,000 a year for doing 16 games, 17 games a year, they have other jobs, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not clear and simple to just say, oh, give them $3 or $4 million more. Because if that was the case, there's no question the owners would just say, because it's only $100,000 a team.
But it's not that. Penny wise, pound foolish. You're right. I understand there's principles. I mean, with all due respect, Dominic, if they concede here, you're opening up. But my point is, they knew this was coming.
But I like that, Richard.
With this kind of
point. I like that. What you just said. What was it? Penny wise and pound foolish.
Make a note, Don. Let's go to Larry.
I like that.
Larry, what do you have to say? Go ahead, Larry.
So far.
You go.
Yeah, they're making almost $60,000 a year. All right, they're part-timers. They work what? How many hours? How many hours during a game? They have full-time jobs. They want 100. They want more money. They want a bigger pension system when you got football players out there making what? On a minimum. I think it's outrageous.
Okay, but here's what they should have done, Larry. They should have canned them all and brought in replacements if they wanted to have cost control, but they shouldn't have done what they did here, which is on the fly come up with a program and then sell these guys out, by the way, as they're a bunch of clowns.
Richard, you're absolutely right. Listen, go back to the air traffic controller strike when Reagan just fired them. If planes started crashing, Reagan would have called the old ones and said, we're rehiring you back. We didn't do that. They had a system in place to make sure the planes ran on time. That is the biggest mistake they made by not having suitable replacement refs who could carry this out. But to the point of somehow it's collapsing around them, nobody's not stopped going to the game.
Okay, but wait, Tom.
That's when it
Wait,
starts.
Tom,
That's when it hurts.
I want to use your figure. You said it would cost each team an additional $100,000
We're going to do the
a year.
math fighting here in the break here. When we come back here, we're going to come back on some issues and some races around our region that are flying under the radar that we're going to want to catch up on. Stay with us.